Howdy, folks. I'm Joe Treff, the creator of Alberon RPG Network, a whole bunch of different TTRPG games, including tonight's in-canon one-shot from our original Starfinder campaign, Mosaic Team 5. I am your GM this evening and joining me are my friends... Oh, wait, I'm on the whole thing. The amazing Matt, who will be playing Shade, the android mechanic who seems to experience the occasional odd feeling floating through their neural cortex. The delightful Dan, who will be playing Bubs, the naive human who grew up as part of a super soldier program. The charming Cara, who will be playing Echo, the android operative who joined the team to help offset massive debt accrued over a long career as a specialty courier. And the awesome Ari, who will be playing Gibbs, the Yosoki garbage mystic, who found their powers in a huge bottle in the junkyard they called home. Thank you for checking out 3PK, and thanks to TPK for hosting. Without further ado, let me introduce you to our story, which is taking place in canon about 6 days prior to the current date in our campaign, which you can watch live every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on twitch.tv/AlberonRPG. We are at AlberonRPG on all different social medias. We are alberonrpg.com for more details about this campaign and our 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time D&D campaign, Courts of Everest. And without further ado, we're just going to jump right into things here. Right. This is a campaign that takes place in a galaxy very similar to our own. In fact, exactly our own. Just set in 2250. To get there from here, we'll catch you up just a little bit. In 2180, first contact with an extraterrestrial species was formed between the Jacinto Corporation and the Lashunta, a psychically gifted race that belonged to the galactic community. At once, humanity joined something far larger, the Milky Way. In 2185, the governments of the various nations and colonies formed a single government, the United Solari Republic, representing the people of the Solari system around their sun Sol. With representatives now able to effectively diplomatize with other species and governments, humanity was finally exposed to drift technology. In 2250, Mosaic LLC hires Shade, Bubs, Echo, Spice, who is not with us this evening, and Gibbs, to help them get out of debt as professional bounty hunters. Thus far in our campaign, they have fought drones on jungle planets, taken down rogue VIs, and slain Vesk war criminals. Briefly, you even faced an eco-terrorist and went undercover on a resort world called Ara's Bay, before blowing your cover in spectacular fashion day one. After a brief pit stop at the Pepco station, you now make your way to Akiton. But, unfortunately, your food has gone bad. Gibbs, you sneaking down into the cargo hold to examine your supplies, realize that the corpse that you had stashed right alongside that maybe not the best for the eats meats meat pucks that are down there. So, you called Peep, your Yosoki mission coordinator, and let him know that you were having issues with food. He asked for you to hold while in the drift to stop your course to Akiton and wait for him. And it is at this point, if you just give me 1 second to change the music up here. It is at this point that you hear your communicators begin to ring. Okay.
I pick up.
Fantastic.
Pete, give me the good news.
Aboard the spaceship, you pick up and you're in the cockpit?
Yeah.
Okay. Who else is in the cockpit?
I am.
Shade's always in the cockpit. Okay. So Shade and Gibbs, the two of you, see the face of your mission coordinator pop up on the holograph. This white Yosoki. He looks a little bit nervous, but he says, Mission Coordinator Peep to Mosaic Team 5, come in?
Coming in.
Okay.
Coming in hot.
I hope not. All right. We're in luck. Gunner Intergalactic Food Services dropped off fresh food, and apologies, that isn't much better than what Gibbs already had. But there's a place nearby, relatively nearby. There's a drift beacon there, and so somewhere that not even Shade can make you take 6 days to get to. But I'm going to send some coordinates to you now. And there is a little beep. And Shade, these are navigational points very similar to Pepco. These are in the drift, which is relatively uncommon, but this is anchored very much the same way that the Eclipse Mall is. From almost anywhere, as long as you are within the drift and have this location, you can reach this spot. That being said, unlike other coordinates you have, this begins to degrade almost immediately. You haven't really seen this before, but this seems almost like a temporary access key to that drift beacon, and you would imagine it will expire after a certain amount of time. Peep says, just stop off these coordinates. There's a drift beacon here, so Shade, you'll be able to reach it easily. They're expecting you and said to park anywhere out front? Huh. Okay, well, this is the last stop, okay? And then straight to Akiton. This is an important bounty for all of you to take care of. Peep out. And the
Love
face
you.
Disappears. Doesn't quite catch the love you.
Inputting
Does your
coordinates
boss.
now.
No problem.
Boop, 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 boop. That's how I put coordinates in.
Fantastic. So you beep boop boop the coordinates in, and the little timer begins to blink. 16 hours. Is there anything that all of you wish to do before arriving at this location in preparation, or we can fast forward right to this arrival?
We can fast forward, I think.
Clear out the old food.
Okay.
Put it in the vacuumy thingy.
Okay.
The button.
The airlock.
The airlock thingy.
So over the course of the 16 hours, Gibbs very sadly taking all this food and almost like a Viking funeral flushing it into the space. And then from like the outside camera angle is just silence, and then this trash just into the space.
The corpse
No
too?
problem.
Do we
no.
need it for anything? I guess
Why
not.
would we need a corpse?
No problem.
We've needed stupider things. I put the corpse in the vacuum thingy.
Okay.
Director, I believe Gibbs would appreciate some funeral music.
Very well. The computerized voice of your ship begins to play, and all of you, from the cockpit to the armory or wherever you may be, suddenly hear this little chime, and then bagpipes begin. The meat pucks are properly disposed of in the most respectful way that meat pucks have ever been disposed of. Shade, as you direct this craft and you follow the various waypoints in your systems, you need to concentrate, because the space, these kind of intergalactic clouds that form channels here in the drift, begin to get a little bit more narrow, and they begin to become harder to navigate through. There are lanes and channels here, and suddenly, a blip. Amongst all of this, there is another ship that you can sort of get sensors on, although staticky, and then another, and then another. And all of a sudden, there are 6 or so ships on your systems, although none of them currently powered up, all clustered around a singular object that just now comes across your viewport. Who else is in the cockpit?
I think at this point, I'd probably come into the cockpit.
Okay.
Hey guys, are we slowing down? Like, what's going on?
We've arrived.
Oh, I thought we were going to Akiton. What is this place?
The food was spoiled because of someone placing a corpse next to it. So we are stopping to retrieve more food at the location Pete pinged.
Oh, I ate some of that food. I mean, you guys know I can't taste things. I didn't even know it was spoiled.
Shade.
Did you eat it from the mess hall, or did you eat it from the pile that was moldy?
Gibbs kind of on all fours and comes into the cockpit and then grabs the seat.
I don't like any mold or fungus or anything with like gooey like tentacles or
Bubs.
Even I wouldn't have eaten those puck
Calm
mitts. Meat puck bits.
Bubs is like gonna like just do a breathe in, like kind of, and like collect himself. Okay.
If you start to feel sick, let Gibbs know.
Okay.
I take out a flashlight. I look in his eyes.
Okay, you shine it directly in his eyes. And Bubs, you didn't feel especially sick before, but that intense bright light does kind of have that like instant photosensitivity, nauseous kind of feeling. But aside from that, you do a quick body scan,
Yeah.
do a life sciences check.
Okay.
While you're doing that, for the rest of you
That's
who
a
are
natural
watching,
one.
natural one.
Oh man, you're looking feverish.
Instantly, you feel sweat begin to
Yep.
come down. You feel like you can maybe smell something. That's not supposed to happen. All kinds of things. And for the rest of you, you see Bubs just start to panic, and really nothing to do with his medical
Guys,
situation.
is this like when you eat gum for 7 years and it stays in your stomach and
Gibbs,
then you can't get rid of it and
please
then you just
take
keep eating other
Bubs
things and
to
then it
the
just
med
gets in
bay.
a big gumbo in your stomach and then...
Absolutely. Let's figure that out. Come to the med bay and I'll take a look.
Echo's in the hallway headed to the cockpit
Okay.
whilst they open the door to come out. Is everything all right?
Bubs ate a gumball.
Oh,
No, everything is not all right. I might have eaten spoiled food and no one...
The door shuts, and Shade, you are left for the first time in this entire campaign, pretty much alone in the cockpit. In front of you, as you direct your attention forward, there's a large modular platform of an aluminum steel alloy that is marred with scorch marks and oil slicks. This is a space platform, and you've seen things like this before. There's one outside the Pepco station, although a little smaller than this. There is artificial gravity here, and you can tell that because the ships all currently level and landed. There are maybe, and I would say, Shade, these don't really mean anything to you, but Bubs, if you were here, you would see these little strips of yellow paint that are reminiscent of like old parking lot spaces in movies. And so you can see there are ships that are parked in each one. And Shade, as you kind of near this platform, you can see beyond a few different starships, a shuttle, and a freighter, you can see there is a single gleaming chrome diner car that has been appended onto the edge of a larger ovular husk of an old spacecraft. In neon above this diner car, which is really just a front that has been put on, it reads, Lola's Diner in the Drift. As you approach, Shade, you note, they said just park out front, and that's where all the spots are. Each one of these spots, very narrow. And for your craft, the only one that will accommodate it between the freighter and a fighter that has gone just a little bit over the line.
Oh, asshole.
Yeah.
Damn.
So what are you doing?
Can I still reasonably fit there?
Make a piloting check if you would like to try.
Make sure to put on your hazards.
Do you put on your hazards?
Do I have hazards to put on?
No. You do have running lights that you can put on, but not hazards.
But you could just flick them on and off and
That's
then it
true.
becomes hazards.
29.
29.
Nice.
Okay. You glide the craft down, and the shape of your ship is not standard. This entire ship that you have,
Put it on its
very
side.
unique. You guys haven't seen any kind of like maker's mark on it yet. And so it's not quite small enough to fit in, but with your mastery of piloting, you have like a weird angle. You have to get like one of the landing gear up on that, like what is essentially like a concrete block in the front. And so it's at like a little bit of an angle, but you land there. There is a very, very slight, the 29 little, as you maybe like tap the side of it. But as you like turn the camera on and you look out the right side, you didn't scratch the paint or anything. You're fine.
Oh, we're good.
No problem.
DC 30.
It was DC 30 to be perfectly clean, yeah. But,
Um,
I mean, you got a ship into a smaller spot without scratching ships. That's
Nice.
very impressive.
Oh, it was good.
I fill Bub's arms with breath mints,
Skill points for
knowing
that.
he can't do anything, and I'm like, this is what's gonna help. Every time you feel nauseous, just pop one of these. You're gonna go away. It'll be fine.
Oh,
And then I hand you an ice pack, and then I hand you a sweater, but it's like got holes in it, and I hand you a plastic bag.
Bubs is like carrying like all these things. Okay. I mean, I guess I have my prescription pills and sweater and
Doctor's orders.
other things. I guess I'll take 2 of these.
No problem. And they're mint flavor, which is great.
He can't
Um,
taste it though.
Yes, which gives us aware of giving you a placebo effect much more easy
Yeah, that's awesome.
than the average person.
No problem. So for all of you now, Shade has landed. If you wish, you can. You will need to briefly walk through space to get to the airlock.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy for the androids. Bubs, you already have your armor that can be glamour
Yeah.
projected over.
And he's
so
probably
no
not going to put on the sweater. He's going to just glamour project the sweater just to make Gibbs feel better.
Oh, that was to wipe off the sweat.
Oh, okay.
It's a sweat rag.
Yeah. Okay. Then he'll just probably take out one of his wipes and wipe off the sweat.
No problem. You set the sweater aside.
Yeah.
I get in my spacesuit.
Everybody has to wait for Gibbs.
Yeah.
Fishbowl.
Shoom, everything gets quiet. You have to like screw it on. It's like an old timey bathysphere,
Yeah.
but no problem.
I think I'll glimmer project just normal white clothes,
Okay.
white brown pants.
Always with a brown pants.
Yeah.
So you put on your various attire, the things that you need to walk through space, and you make your way down the ramp. Here in this space, you can see just these cosmic clouds, these dark purple, kind of vaguely luminescent shapes that form almost a cavern here. And Bubs, in front of you, this is an old Earth-style diner cart. Just like in the movies, you've seen things like this before. But in front of you, there is 2 airlocks that face out. Both have windows, and above each, you can see there is a little set that says Lola's Rules.
Oh my god, guys, this is just like in those like movies I used to watch with Steel. Like they this
I'm gonna read
old,
the rules.
old like woman who would like have all these like food to offer you, and she wouldn't even need to give you a menu because it'd be on her head, and she'd like call you these things like sugar and hun, and like and she'd like always have like the best like X thing in the world, and you'd be like, oh, can I get the best X thing? And she'd be like, oh, well, we don't have it.
The way that Bub's stories ends are always perfect. Shade.
What's on the rules?
Shade and Gibbs, the two of you read rules over each side of the airlock. Rule number 1, no shoes, no service. Rule number 2, no illusions. Come as you are. Rule number 3, no cash, credits only. Rule number 4, no heavy weapons. Check them with host, h.o.s.t. And then 5, no bullshit. The final little appended rule at the end is, and remember, aggression at Lola's is met with indifference. Aggression towards Lola's is met with extreme prejudice.
I love these rules. Thinking of the rules that we also just wrote on our ship, but they are much shittier.
Yeah, you like think back to the various post-it notes, most shaped like dog butts that are like on the ship rule wall.
Right.
Just like most professional bounty hunter teams.
Seeing there's no illusions, Bubs is gonna turn off his glimmer suit and just show his armor.
Okay. Just kind of fades back to your regular armor. Are you entering the airlocks?
Yeah.
Do any of us have what are considered heavy weapons?
I do.
I don't think I do, actually.
I don't think I do. Just making sure.
I just have long arms and small arms.
Oh, is it?
Actually, I think it's an advanced melee weapon I have.
Yeah, the hammer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
that's
is that
advanced
considered
melee.
a heavy weapon?
No.
Oh,
So
okay.
heavy weapons in terms of like a missile launcher.
Rocket.
Yeah,
rocket
something
gun.
that
A
would be classed as a
flamethrower?
heavy weapon
Okay.
in terms of properties.
Sorry.
So no problem. You go into this airlock, and the airlock itself is almost like a long, kind of narrow space. You've been through airlocks before. It cycles through. It fills with this kind of cleaning spray. And Gibbs, you're thankful for this suit to protect your germs from this awful sanitation.
I fart in my suit.
There you go. And it smells like you would expect. But through this space, you enter into, and it kind of opens up, and immediately, give me 1 second. Let me set a little ambience for you here.
Ambiance.
Yeah, you need a little ambience. I took a little bit from,
Sirenscape, the digital
Akiton.
toolset.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
So for all of you, you enter into a little bit of a happening scene. Through this space, there is a long, narrow kind of room, and it is a diner car, although certainly a reproduction. You see a long kind of space with corrugated metal floors, although there has been some effort, probably at some point you can see like faded paint to make a checkmark pattern across them. There is, off to the left immediately, 2 bathrooms. You can see there is a holographic jukebox between both of those, with several selections that are scrolling through. Ahead of you, you can see there is a counter, kind of brushed steel, and then in a blue checkered dress with white collar and white apron is a massive serpent-like humanoid that has, in place of hair, about 20 individual snake-like appendages that move and twitch behind their head. several other customers sit in booths, and a few at the counter as well. And as you like walk through the airlock and it opens to your right, you can see there's an elderly like space dwarf who is sitting there hooked up to this like massive wheeled contraption. They have like a gas mask on. It's like this super intense piece of medical equipment maybe. And actually, Gibbs, you notice a logo on it. This is his Codicus brand. And so very similar to the little pistol that you have. That is mostly what you see, although there are a number of people both at the counter and at the tables. What would you like to do?
And I hang it up on one of those like with the like
Does-
coat rack thingy.
Yeah, it's exactly like a coat rack, but already you can see that there is like a little portable grenade launcher that has been hung there.
Nice.
Does this old space dwarf seem like the eponymous Lola?
Make a sense motive check.
Trying to see who I
Based
get
on
in
Bob's
touch with about
description?
the like the delivery that we have. Is this sense motive, you said?
Yes.
Oh, great. That's 6 -2 if they're the DC or whatever.
Yeah, sure. Just looks like an old dwarf, and probably most dwarves are not named Lola, although you have not met all dwarves, so.
Then I'm gonna go to the counter.
I
Where
also
people are.
scramble up.
There's no hostess.
Are there
So
Bench
before, as you like
Host
take a
bench.
step towards the counter and you like drop to all fours, getting ready to scramble up, suddenly the jukebox, the little cycling song, stop, and a face appears, and you
Oh,
can hear
there's
this
host.
voice appears. It's very similar to like, I don't know how many of you use movie phone as like as kids. It's dating me, but it's a voice that's like very mechanical and filtered through, and it says, "Hello and welcome to Lola's Diner. How many are your party? Do you have any dietary restrictions? And would you like sparkling, tap, or worm?"
For all the water types, please. And no dietary restrictions, but quantity over quality, please.
Please find your way to the lit beacon. And then you see there's only one spare table right now, but above the lamp just turns green.
And we have an appointment with Lola.
We don't have an appointment with Lola. We're here to pick up a delivery from Gunner Intergalactic Foods.
Ah, you are Mosaic Team 5.
Yes.
Please be seated. Lola will inform you of all of your options.
And I use my Heelys on the corrugated thing, so it's just like as I excitedly make my way to our booth.
Sure.
As we all sit down in the booth, I'm gonna just like feel around, make sure there's like no crayons under the seat, or like everything's a little bit neat. I'm gonna like organize the ketchup packets and like all the other stuff. And
Sure.
as I do that, I feel under the table and I feel like a little bit of like wetness.
It's not a little bit. It's a lot. The table underneath has a texture, and you're like, oh, is this some kind of a wood? And looking underneath, there's gum, certainly, but there are many species. And looking around here already, there is a very diverse group here. You already saw this strange serpent-like person behind the counter. You can see there's a contemplative, this floating brain-like person that you will actually see in a couple days as well. There is a Sharen. You can see there is a Kasatha that is actually sitting with the contemplative. Gibbs, as you like wheelie by, the brain kind of like shifts and follows you. And there's like a group of what look like little like slime-like creatures that are all sitting around a table as well.
I see what Bubs is looking at, and I'm like, oh, neat gum!
Yeah.
And
There's
just
actually
start,
like a
like-
chicken bone that's stuck into what looks like black gum up and into the actual table itself.
And I'm just gonna try and get my claws between like the veneer and the gum and try and like peel as much off in one piece.
Yeah, make an athletics check. This is a strength-based task. It's been here for some time.
What? Why is this strength, Joe? Be
It's
nice.
Well,
6 minus 1.
so interesting. You get your little like Yosoki fingernails, then you're good at finding purchase, and as you pull away, you can't. Make a life sciences check. Bubs, you grab your seat. You begin to organize little ketchup
Yeah.
packets.
17.
17. This is not gum. This is a creature. There are what are called drift barnacles. And at some point, probably like a little polyp or something on somebody's spacesuit came in and just attached itself. And as you turn, there's several of them that are there. And you can see they do have like little openings. And
Hello.
when people stick gum under the table, these things probably feed on that. But no problem. You sit down at this
A
table and you
vibrant
can see
ecosystem.
this snake lady looks over, the hair like all over, and then she begins to like pick up some menus and she looks like she's going to walk over in your direction. Is there anything that you're doing before the waitress or host makes their way over?
Echo would just be sitting very straight at the edge of their booth and just like staring at what they think is Lola, and just waiting for Lola to appear.
No
Yep.
problem.
Is there, like,
Android's
any
gonna
menus?
Android.
She's coming with them.
Yeah, and so you can see in her hands there's like a cream and red colored menu, and she like moves over and as she gets around the counter, she is fully of snake body, no legs, no limbs aside from the arms, just this serpent that glides across the steel. And you can see probably the reason that the paint didn't really work here is because she just would scrape it off as she goes. But she makes her way over to your table and she just says, "I'm Lola. Welcome to my diner in the Drift. I understand you're Mosaic Team 5. Wonderful. We have some food for you, but it's about 30 minutes from being packaged. Would you like anything while you wait?"
One of everything?
No.
We unfortunately cannot afford one of everything.
How much is everything?
Let me give you some menus and time to decide. You can see she dishes out.
Menus!
Oh my
Oh, wait,
goodness!
this is the wrong piece of paper. I have a lot of pieces of paper this week. Menu for you.
Yeah, one of everything. I can afford one of everything.
And interestingly, as you kind of look across this menu, and if somebody wants to put it under that combat cam, I'm going to do a close-up real quick. Look at that, Dine in the Drive. It's tough to see this stuff on the camera, so check us out Alberon RPG on Instagram. One thing that you will notice as you look over here, everything is marked in credits, and the menu itself, each of these options looks like it's tappable, and so you could probably order by touching the menu. Okay, what are you tapping?
I
Because
can
want it.
afford one of everything.
So you're gonna order one of everything?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Mrs. Lola.
Just Lola's fine.
Okay. Well, I have like a thing where I can't like taste food, and I was wondering maybe like if you had anything that has like a good like mouth feel. Like,
Sure.
do you have like any like Well, one time my kind of father, he gave me these things called like pop rocks, and they like explode in your mouth. Do you have like any things that explode in your mouth?
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah.
What about the rest of you?
I shall have the cheesy eats beefs nachos, please.
Oh, good choice. You can just, you hear in the kitchen, ding, 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 just go off and off and off.
And a cup of coffee, please.
I wouldn't recommend the coffee.
Can you make it with the worm water?
I would recommend that. Turns around, and also, actually, of note, at this, from her belt, pulls off what is like a military-style canteen, fills up one little carafe of regular water, another that is like fizzy, and then another that is just a little bit of water, almost entirely a liquid volume of worms. And they still kind of twitch and move, but, you know, puts that back away.
Slide that close to me.
And you?
I'll have the eel rice.
All right. I'll be right back.
Where are the bathrooms?
She kind of like jerks a finger over, and you can see, actually, you've seen, these are almost identical to the ones that were at Way Station El Paso. These are Jacinto Sani booths. They are modular bathrooms that are kind of throughout the galaxy, and in a way, Bubs, kind of comforting.
Okay.
You know, even though they probably aren't the cleanest, you know what to expect going in.
Bubs is gonna go to the bathroom and he's gonna see if he can find any like sort of like, you know what, like gas stations and diners, they have those like look, put a quarter in and you can like turn it and like get some medicine or like something.
A
Yeah.
tampon.
Yeah, he's gonna look for something like that because he doesn't believe what Gibbs gave him will help his stomach.
Okay, so you go into the bathroom, and the bathroom is really small. Would a visual reference for this
Oh,
be
yes.
helpful? Okay, let me put up our camera. I will go grab that. This is kind of large. So the diner itself is not large, but I just, this is what I have to put it on.
I love this menu item. Wumprumpus gonads.
Sad.
One Brumpus gonads?
Yes.
Is that gluten free?
They're a delicacy.
It is actually in the year 2250, gluten has been eliminated.
Ah, finally.
Yeah, we won the war on gluten finally.
Yeah.
The war on gluten has been won.
finally
So, Bubs, you
We're
can
free.
see the two bathrooms are all the way, right on the left side of the airlock when you come in. You can actually see Lola; she is behind the counter, and things are pretty much laid out exactly as they are.
Do I see like one of those coin machines or
So,
card machines?
looking at the size of the bathroom,
Mhm.
imagine trying to get a little vending machine in there. It'd be tough. In there is a thing that you put your hands in, and it evaporates the water off of them, which is very standard. That's what has replaced like the fans that don't do anything. There is just like a very, very... it's called water gel. It also exists in a lot of places. It's for cleaning your hands, and it doesn't, 0G get everywhere. There's a couple things in there that are very basic, but nothing that you can buy.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's just gonna wash his hands and like kind of throw some water on himself and like clean himself up. Like he has a whole system of cleaning himself, so he's probably
No
gonna
problem.
be in there for a little
Can
bit.
you guys give me the menus back too, just because I just need one. Really.
Here, you
Thank
can have ours.
Leave this one here.
Okay, so Lola makes her way back while Bubs is in the restroom. Is there anything that all of you're doing?
I take the worm juice,
Okay.
worm water, and I just my cork on my bottle, and I just pour the worms into my bottle and
Okay.
recork it.
Behind you, you
Gross.
hear a little giggle, and turning, you can see there is in this booth a huge red slime, and then several small little like slime creatures, which maybe it's kids. And you see this one green slime like leaning over. There's no face, there's no like facial features, but you still hear the laughter. And then it just kind of ducks down out of sight. And the red slime turns over and just goes, "Oh, really sorry about my kids. Hey, Dustin, stop that." And just like you hear like a little squelch as it pushes them down. But what else are you doing? Sorry.
Feeding worms to my
Yes.
thing and waiting for food.
So you begin to drop worms into your bottle one by one. They just steam and evaporate and dissolve. And slowly your bottle shifts from purple to a little bit more of like a red hue. But no problem. You feed your bottle. Anything else that you wish to do before your food arrives?
Echo's just going to kind of like turn around and survey the crowd.
Yeah, make a perception check.
Yeah, Shade's just taking stock of everyone in the place, keeping eyes out for any threats.
Oh, we're rolling crap today. It's a 15.
Okay. So you turn around and you do see there is this old dwarf that you kind of pass through on your way. Sitting at the bar, you had passed by them. There are two what look like Lashunta. You don't get a real good look at them from this distance. They seem to be keeping mostly to themselves. You can see a Shiren who was at the counter and is now kind of just like over near where that locker is, sitting in the far corner seat. You see the slime family having a little dinner, and the slimes are kind of arguing now. And this other slime is like, Dustin, stop it. There is the contemplative and this, Kasatha having a quiet conversation, and then this group, this pair, and I would say you recognize they're androids, both of them that are in the corner, and they seem to be similar to you, just kind of waiting for something. At that moment, as you begin to like try to look at them a little bit more, Lola just comes in with this big tray. So nachos is kind of a generous term. It looks a little bit like, when you open ramen noodles, how they look in the package. It looks like one very large, like XL ramen noodle brick. Thank you. And then just like a single large slice of cheese has been laid across and then melted. But it slaps on the table and the plate clatters and wobbles. All right. Anything else in the meantime? I'm still working on the mains. They're in the microwave.
I'm all set.
All right.
So our food's getting packaged, you said? Do you need help?
It's all automated, just like the food I'm making for you. Well, except for the human lasagna, but it's that'll be the last thing to come out. Sorry about that. About 20 minutes, we can package all of your product aboard your ship. You can bring it aboard yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Turns around, heads back to the counter. Your little ding, and you imagine the next dish is coming. Give me one
I
second.
understand why this is indeed the cheapest thing on the menu.
Yeah, probably for a reason.
It looks great.
Echo just kind of stares at the brick and like pokes at it a little bit.
Gibbs, Lola returns now holding another plate of cheesy eats beef nachos. Also, these skewers. You can see almost have these long, almost fillets of eel that are doused in barbecue sauce. And they steam. They actually do smell pretty good. The chips that come out, you can see the bag has been opened, and it's just a bag of cricket chips. You can get them in vending machines. But they're there. And then also, at the same time, she brings out for you pancakes.
Nice.
Pancakes come at the same time. And these pancakes, just 6 large pancakes, very normal looking pancakes. Syrup, butter. Shockingly, from everything else that you'd seen, like the barnacles and everything, the most normal thing that has been at this diner.
Cool. I grab one of the skewers of eels and then sort of like bend my body parallel, and we'll go, Dustin, Dustin, psst.
The little kid turns around, slimes over. What?
Where are you
Dad said I
traveling
can't
from?
talk to you.
Why not?
Because you're a stranger.
Oh yeah, stranger danger. That's where are you coming from?
Hey, Dustin. And you can see the dad turns and just goes, I'm really sorry.
No,
about the
I
kid."
love children.
Really?
Yeah, why not? They're great.
The whole slime like turns around and regards all of you. I mean, you just don't really seem like the kid types. What are you all doing here?
Well, we're just traveling.
We're picking up a food delivery.
At a diner?
Yes.
I didn't know they did deliveries. That's pretty cool.
Well, we're picking it up, so they don't really do deliveries.
No. I mean, we'd never been here before. We just kind of came across it. We've never seen a diner in the Drift before. and
Me
it seemed like
neither.
a cool place to stop. But,
Where are you coming from?
oh, we're coming from... Give me one second.
At this point, Bubs is gonna come out of the bathroom and like make his way back to the group.
It's been years.
We're coming from the Fane Horizon. Just pretty far out in the edge of space, but that's where we slimes come from. And then you can see the other slime who's been left unattended is like slowly making their way over the seat, like towards the old man and his machine. And without even looking, this slime, like a tendril, goes and just grabs him back.
You are most skilled at corralling your small children.
Oh, thank you. You know, they're not really my children. I subdivide, and so I'm Dustin, this is Dustin, and that's Dustin. And you can see the 2 little slimes just go, hi, in unison.
That's really cool.
A most interesting method of reproduction.
Yeah. Hey, do you understand why the rules are kind of the way they are? I mean, we don't have any weapons. We're just slimes, and you guys seem pretty nice.
Yeah, but you gotta understand, a diner can have anybody come through.
Anybody?
Why not?
Given the nature of
The head, like, or the sort of top part of the slime rises up a little bit, and it doesn't have eyes, but you get the sense it's kind of like surveying all the different people. And then it gets kind of close to you, Gibbs, and just goes, yeah, like, I don't know about, no offense, not about being androids, but the androids that are in the corner.
I squint. What are they talking about?
Make a perception check.
Echo just looks over and waves.
To the other androids? Okay.
Classic.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Androids.
Oh, okay. You look over and you can just see 2 androids. They're almost staring straight ahead. You've seen Shade do this before. It's almost like this, like, they're waiting for whatever is going to happen next. They don't have anything really to do, and so they're just going to wait. There is no food in front of them. You can see there's like a duffel bag by one of their foot. The lady's wearing a cool jacket. That's like the first thing that really pops out. It looks like from behind it has this mechanical sort of, not mechanical, an electronic fabric. So it's like a fabric LED. So it has almost like a fire pattern that shifts and moves along the bottom.
Whoa.
So that's pretty cool. That does catch your eyes. However, I mean, they're just androids. You have certain thoughts about androids, but
The duffel bag, is it moving? Is there anything cool in it?
Okay. With your perception check, kind of sniffing, and you do have a very good sense of smell, you don't smell food. And you kind of are overwhelmed by the other smells of food that are around. And at this point, Lola also comes back with your Eats Meats specialty salmon burger.
Bubs is probably gonna sit down right as Lola's coming in and see like everyone staring in like the direction of the android.
Yeah.
And he's gonna think they're staring at him, and he goes, oh, "Did I like? Do I have something on my face? Am I clean?
You look great. Sit
Okay.
down.
All right.
You wanna?
One of the two
You'll
little
stick-
slime just goes, "Where's your hair?"
Oh, well, I don't have hair. I mean, like it's.
I don't have any hair too. Are you a Dustin?
No, I don't believe I'm a Dustin, but I think there's a lot of people who don't have hair who aren't Dustins.
Guess who else doesn't have hair? And I point to the brain guy,
Okay.
and I wink at one of the littler Dustins.
You can see you point to the brain guy and wink, and the Dustin just goes, "Hey, how can I do that?" And then you just see it just kind of like folds itself a little bit. But
Guys,
no problem.
You gotta stop pointing at people that you're not supposed to like you're supposed to just be like casual and like eat your food. You're not supposed to like look at people and like make a spectacle.
That
What?
was not in the rules.
Yeah, I didn't read that.
Echo, Shade, please make sense motive checks.
I am a spectacle, and I
As-
start.
Just in the movies, everyone's like they're minding their own business. You guys are embarrassing me.
Dirty 20.
30-20.
That's the best sense motive I'm ever gonna get.
18.
Okay. That's a 25 and a 23 with a plus five conditional modifier. You turn your attention to these androids as everybody points at them, and so far, your time with Mosaic Team 5 has had interesting effects in terms of how you perceive other people's perceptions of androids. Maybe not the best sample size, but you turn your attention to them a little concerned that there may be an event brewing, and certainly the sort of female-looking android does look a little bit anxious. To the two of you, they're just staring straight ahead, but to you get the sense that they are being made very uncomfortable by the attention of the entire left side of the diner now being directed towards them. And at this point, the Sharen also kind of gets off the counter and walks over and is just kind of goes, "What are we looking at?"
Echo's gonna stand up from their spot and kind of make their way over to the other two androids and just lean down. I do apologize. My crew is not the most used to interacting with androids, despite having two of us.
Make a diplomacy check.
I feel bullied.
Shady's staying at the table, but making note of the anxious nature.
So you walk over and you just go, "Sorry." And at that moment, the female android, who you had kind of gotten the sense a little bit nervous, jumps on the table. And from their side, you can see from underneath the arms, these compartments open and just weapons in both arms.
Combat tracking.
Immediately- Okay. And everybody can roll for initiative. As you came over and you made a very nervous android significantly more nervous. Wow, that's starting off a lot quicker than I thought.
Why?
I rolled a nat 1.
A nat
I
one?
also rolled a nat one! These are the dice I bought for Echo!
Dang.
Oh man, you guys didn't make really well. I guess you made the worst possible friends to make out of everybody here.
What?
I don't know, the slime
The
seem
slime
pretty-
I mean,
Kids.
if we're talking about
Dustin's-
a combat scenario,
Dustin,
the allies
Dustin,
that
and
you have
Dustin
made
seem pretty cool.
probably aside from
Dustin
the
and
old
Dustin
man,
are not the ones to go with?
Isn't if it's slime, it's dust eyes.
It would be, no, that's only if it's a Latin
Dustinies.
base.
Dusties.
Dustines. So they can evolve with the slime stone. All right, so anybody in natural 20? Okay, love that.
This is Mosaic Team
25,
5.
25 to 20 for initiative. Ooh, that's unfortunate. 20 to 15.
18.
18
16.
for Shade.
Thank goodness.
18 for Shade. 16 for Bubs. All right, 15 to 10. Ooh,
We both rolled nat 1s.
not one.
Yeah, we both rolled nat 1s for this initiative start. And so Echo will go first, and I will go at the very last. Because my dex is not good.
Real,
No,
real
that
good.
is rough.
Yeah.
Good timing.
Okay.
Guys, at least it's out there. The nat 1's done.
Oh no.
Yeah, but like,
We
nah.
still need one from Bubs.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait, you did roll a nat
Oh,
one right
yeah,
at the
for
beginning.
last time.
So
I
you need
haven't
one
gotten
from
one.
Shade.
Okay, so the
Don't
way that
want
this is
that.
going to work out, The androids that you have startled are going first.
Of course.
They have 26.
Damn.
Then Shade, then Bubs, then all of the rest of the folks in the diners, just to make things a little bit more simple. Then Echo, and then Gibbs. So we're starting with these androids. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna cycle out, and we're going to use a different battle music. Okay. So,
And sorry, in the minis, is the yellow coated one the female android?
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And realistically, the only reason that they're female looking is because that helps the two of you, like everybody on the board, differentiate.
Right.
Realistically, when we're talking about their description, there is no hair. It is like a bald humanoid form that is maybe slightly more feminine, but both
It's
are
like Echo.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would say they're slightly less androgynous than Echo. All right. So first, these androids. The one that jumped up on the table. Oh boy. Okay. So, in their hands... Oh no, my attacks didn't load. That's so sad. Okay, no problem. In their hands, you are going to see... These pistols appear. Both of them seem to be integrated into the body itself, and for some of you might recognize these have a quick draw attachment to them, but they both just appear in her hands. And as you go up, Echo, you say, sorry. She jumps on the table and just says, this is a robbery, and begins to fire. Echo, you are going to take 2 attacks.
No.
That is going to be a 29
Yes.
and a 19.
Also yes.
That is unfortunate. Okay.
Yes.
So this pistol that emerges, you can see it's faceted and it almost looks like it has scales to it. It's green, this dark green. And as it kicks open, give me 1 second here, 7, you are going to be taking 22 points of fire damage.
Ow.
This burns into you again and again, and as it shoots, this it has these explosions that come out, and at first you mistake it for muzzle blast, but it's just fire. These are fire weapons for sure.
Oh, and the Sharen's with us?
The Shren's right behind Bubs. That is going to be her attack. I'm going to say that her movement was going to be jumping up on the table just to be nice. So the other person, they are going to stand up and they're going to take 5 steps so that they are toe-to-toe with Bubs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They get out, and Bubs, as they stand up, they are about your height, but then the knees, they unlock, and you can see they fold out almost like they are bending in the opposite direction, and he stands a good 1.5 feet taller than you.
Bubs like looks up as he goes higher.
Yeah, he gets higher and higher, and as he like shifts and gets ready to fight, there is something very similar to his fighting style as your own. He is going to go ahead and he clenches his fists, and you watch as those two grow larger, the mechanisms within seeming to expand and contract, and then suddenly begin to glow with power. These are powered weapons. This is only 1 attack, however. That is going to be a 33 to hit.
KAC or EAC?
This is KAC.
That's a hit.
All right. Hitting Bubs. Always a hard thing to do. That is going... Wow, that is lucky.
Oh.
Out of a potential 36 rolled points of damage,
Yep.
you took 6.
Wow.
Plus-
that is lucky.
25 points of burn
wow.
damage.
Ooh.
This
Yikes.
slams into you, and in the moment as it impacts, that electricity seems to concentrate right on the tip and then into fire. He hits you hard right in the chest. Bubs, if you can go ahead and make a fortitude saving throw, please. Thank you.
It's a 13.
A 13?
Plus 9.
Okay.
22.
So this hits you, and you feel your whole body almost knocked. You are almost laid out. But as you sort of shift yourself forward, your armor is enough to kind of grind together. The joints harden, and you're able to not be knocked prone.
Imagine I fall back a little bit into the booth. I'm like holding both arms onto the booth.
Yeah, no problem. You hold on. You kind of begin to make your way back up, but that is the android's turn. That is going to bring us... Oh, man, where did I put my initiative order? That is going to bring us to Shade. Shade, you see one of these androids up on the table firing with these fire-breathing pistols. This other android is now punching Bubs with electricity or fire-based attacks. What do you want to do?
Cool. Where is the jukebox?
Between the
The
bathrooms.
jukebox is between those two bathrooms.
Oh, okay. It's all the way over there.
Yes.
Are there any like wireless like menus or computer panels
Interestingly,
within range here?
Right, because it's 30 feet.
20 feet.
Nothing really in that you could see within range here. No.
Okay. Then I am going to use my move action to do my adaptive fighting.
Okay.
Give myself double tap.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use my standard action to fire my pistol under the table at the one that I have.
All right. Yeah. So go ahead and roll your attack. That whole time, as soon as Echo got up and you shifted your attention over, you kind of had the weapon ready to draw. But as your exocortex shifts behind the eye patch, acquiring information and beginning to triangulate this attack, what was that roll?
That was the one that we were looking at.
Is that natural one?
Yeah.
We passed it around the
wow.
table.
Love it. Bubs
does make
and
it a-
Echo, please roll a d20.
Ah.
Ooh.
Ah.
It's still
Four?
It's still
Four.
technically
So four, roll
technically
d20
a
again.
15.
It's a miss.
Yeah.
18.
13.
13. Roll damage on Bubs.
Sorry, Bubs.
Underneath the table, you pull out this weapon, and this feels so cool. But then Bubs is pushed back by this attack right as you pull the
Let me see
trigger,
what the
and you
addition
basically
is.
shoot Bubs right in the small of the back.
So that's gonna be sorry about this one. That's gonna be a total of 10 points
10 points. Nice.
of pistol.
So Bubs, you get socked right in the face, and as you stumble backwards, you get shot right in the back.
Sorry.
Things are going great for you. Anything else, Shade?
Nope, that's it for
Bubs,
me.
you get shot in the back by your friend. What would you like to do?
Bubs is thrown back against the booth, and then he feels like a little sharp pain in his back, and he pushes forward. And at this point, he's kind of right up against the guy, the mechanical android in front of him. And usually when Bubs is ready to fight, he says something inspirational, bringing him up, nothing is impossible, or posture is perfect. But this time he notices in the corner of an eye a sign that says, "The customer is always right."
Yeah.
And for some reason that gives him, yes, I am right in this moment.
I am the customer.
Yes.
I am right.
And he takes his hammer and he starts swinging it, and he tries to go right up to the face of this android. Kind of a big hit right up to his...
Make an attack roll.
and that's going to be a standard attack. It's a 9.
Plus.
Plus, I believe...
Plus 10, right?
Yeah, 10. No, plus 11 now. So it is 21.
Against.
I believe it's just a melee attack, so it's KC.
Yeah.
You bring this hammer up, but in this tight space, as you're shot in the back, as you're shot in the back, it throws you off, and you slam the hammer into the ground. Clang! Off the metal. Too narrow is the space. That is a miss. Anything else, Bubs?
That's my turn.
Starting off
Alrighty.
strong in this combat.
That brings
everyone.
us to everybody else. So first, you can hear the big Dustin just go, "Oh, Dustins, let's get out of here." The two little Dustins can move 15 feet forward. Big Dustin is going to stay right behind them, even though Big Dustin can move faster. Big Dustin's protecting little Dustin.
Does he just scooch out from under the table?
Technically, they kind of split and move over and around the table,
Okay.
but yeah, they just kind of get into the aisle and begin to run. The Contemplative is going to float 30 feet towards the door and then another 30 feet into the airlock, along with the Kasatha. You watch at the counter as Lola just kind of shakes her head and presses a button, and these steel slats come up, and just seal the entire bar off from the rest of this area, and you can see painted onto it, you can see back in 10 minutes.
Sharan?
I'm going to get to the shrine in a second. The old man, you can see begin to get up, and this machine that's next to him suddenly just goes danger and unfolds into this robotic companion. It holds what looks like an energy shield and begins to escort the guy towards the far back airlock. Yeah, he can only move 10 feet. He's really not doing good. And then this couple at the bar, yeah, they're going to follow the older guy in that robot. Interestingly, both of them draw weapons. They keep them leveled in the direction of this kind of scrum, but they're not going to fire yet.
Okay.
And then very finally, the jukebox in the very back. Interestingly, Shade, in this brief moment as it begins to turn, this is not a jukebox. This is an android. And as it separates itself from the wall and turns around, the whole back half of it, heavily armored, very much like a turtle, and it just into the wall and just seems to almost disappear. Yeah, there you go.
Big and glittery dice.
Perfect. So that is the sort of rest of the group and brings us to the Shiren.
Oh, okay. Shiren's in on it. Oh, no.
The Shiren is in others, but the Shiren came over at just enough of a time so that it might get a little involved. However, it's not really sure what's happening. Okay.
A robbery. Didn't he hear the android?
Where's Was?
Was.
There we go. All right. So at this point, with this robbery occurring, Was pulls from their side this little mechanical knife. It looks small, almost like a paring knife, but they touch the grommet on it, and you can see it begins to shimmer, and then this heat wave emerges from it, such that you cannot see the metal behind it. This is a mirage dagger. And they are going to leap over the individual that is attacking Bubs to flank them with Bubs. And they're going to try to stab this guy in the back.
Nice.
They're going to roll a 4.
Nice.
For a total of 15. That is not going to hit. And so they swing this dagger, but this individual is able to shift underneath. They plant a foot onto the seat and push themselves away. This foot is huge. This individual taller than you, Bubs. This is like just a larger you almost if you were an android. However, that is the Shiren's turn. That is going to bring us to you, Echo. Or Gibbs, you're on deck.
Echo's still like guarding their face from the onslaught of flames.
Yeah.
And tries to very stealthily and subtly reach for their hail pistol.
Okay.
And they're going to use that stealth for a trick attack. Stealth check.
Okay.
Attack
Fantastic.
with pistol. Please be good. Damn it!
Oh my gosh.
What was that roll?
That's a 19 for the stealth
Okay.
and a 10 for the actual attack.
Have we hit these guys once?
No. But to be fair, you haven't rolled great. What was the total of that, though, for the attack?
10.
10 total.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So stealthy is this that you are unable to draw your weapon. It kind of gets caught, and as you try to do this sneak attack, it just snags in your coveralls, and you have to kind of dodge out of the way. Still a little bit on fire, but no problem. Gibbs. Or Echo, is there anything else?
Echo's going... Can Echo move without drawing too much fire?
So, Echo, if you were to move, you imagine you would provoke an
That's-
attack from the android that Bubs is fighting.
Okay, Echo's gonna stay where they are.
Okay, no problem. That is Echo's turn. That brings us to Gibbs.
Gibbs is pissed because her meal got interrupted.
Yeah.
So she will scramble over the table, sending plates scattering as she will position herself, obviously because she likes children, between the danger and the fleeing civilians.
Okay, no problem.
Is there an exit on this end of the car, or are they?
No, so they all have to go back to those 2 airlocks that everybody uses.
Perfect. So she's gonna be an imposing figure in this hallway, and then stand up on her 2 legs and rake through her skin, grabbing some of the bugs and smushing them. Does the marionettes of their gunk, and will divert the spirit of these dead bugs to haunt the big old guy's armor.
Okay, fantastic. So what kind of a save is that?
No save.
No save.
You divert him, and it's a level 2 spell.
Nice.
But they're wearing a suit of armor, correct?
Correct.
All right. So the armor becomes cumbersome, reduces the wearer's speed by 10 feet and AC by 1.
Nice.
It also imposes a penalty on stealth checks, should that be applicable.
In this very stealth applicable situation of
Yes.
the diner fight.
And this will last 1 round per level. My level is 4. It's 5. What level are we? 6.
6. I
So
believe,
6
yeah.
rounds. And it's not concentration.
Very, very nice. So you take the bugs, and as you pull them across, it's almost like this goo becomes tendrils that fling out and get into this individual's joints and their armor. The armor itself becomes heavier and becomes almost attached to them. And as they move and try to swing at Bubs, there is this of sticks that then right back. You certainly a little bit encumbered.
Dustins, run!
Ah! And they're just like beginning to...
But stay exactly.
Anything else, Gibbs? They're slow.
No, I just being mindful of civilians.
No problem. That brings us to the top of the round.
No.
The androids. So first, the one that is on the table. Yeah. They are going to use a combat maneuver to attempt to go basically through Echo's space without provoking an attack. Echo, can you make a sense motive check, please?
One of my gutter skills is
Yes!
Oh, of course. Now I have a good roll.
That's good.
Yeah, 25.
25? Okay. So this android begins to shift off to the right, and this is kind of one of those moments where they go right and you go right, and they go left and you go left.
Which way
And
go?
so they go right, and in their mind, this is going to fool you. Their entire torso pivots around 365 degrees before going left,
Ooh.
but you just shift left too fast for this android, almost like 2 steps ahead.
There's just a slow blink from Echo.
Yeah, but there's this
Classic.
brief, and then they just are going to move through your space, provoking an attack of opportunity, ending up on the other side.
Over here.
Yes,
Coming to me.
they're trying to.
Oh!
Very nice. Make your damage roll.
Yes. I prepared the wrong dice. 10
10.
plus 3. Cold and piercing damage. So 13.
Right. 13. Hey, that's pretty good. Okay, no problem. So you tag her as she goes by, and she's going to turn around as a result. And though she was aiming for shade, she is now going to pivot her attention back to you. That is only 1 shot with this pistol.
Does that
That's
provoke an
cocked.
opportunity attack from me?
It
Because
does,
it's shooting
certainly,
within
yeah.
range?
That
we
is
have
going
not
to be
finished our conversation.
a 23 to hit.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. D4s are so dumb.
It's a 23 to hit her with
23?
my opportunity attack.
What is
Sh-
23 against?
I believe it's against KAC.
And she is a
That
negative
is a hit.
1. Oh,
That
do you
is
wanna hit
extra
me?
hit. Oh yeah, go for it.
Perfect. Just so we know.
Oh.
Oh, that's not her.
Do I have to confirm the crit for the
There's no
bleed?
confirming crits in Starfinder.
Oh, I also
Yeah.
have bleed damage to roll.
You what?
Bleed.
Bleed.
Oh, okay.
5 points.
5 points of bleed damage. All right. That's pretty good.
And
Can
the
you tell
l-
I've never crit before?
Oh, that's kind of sad.
Isn't it?
Yeah. We're 41 sessions into our main campaign. So,
I also got 11 points of shooting at her damage.
Shooting at her damage. Yeah.
I think it's piercing, P piercing, because I pierced with a bullet. Because she turned
So,
around and got shot in the back.
interestingly, as you are doing piercing damage, this seems to do a little bit less than you were expecting.
Mm.
Almost 5 less.
Oh no.
So, it looks like 5 less damage visually to you.
My telemetry tells me.
She
Yeah.
did hit me.
She
just
hit
being
you?
honest.
Okay. In that case, that is 2, 4, that is 17 points of fire damage.
Ow!
Are you bleeding?
I am bleeding.
Ooh. That is her turn. That is going to bring us to the other guy. He engaged with Bubs,
Yep.
kind of one-on-one.
And the Shiren, who's flanking.
You watch some of the organic parts on Echo as they begin to start to char.
Okay.
Mm.
So he is going to attempt to smash through Bubs to get to Shade.
Yeah.
Bubs, go ahead and make a fortitude saving throw.
I'm really good at those. 11 plus 9, 20.
Okay. As this happens, there's this brief moment where time slows, and you can see as he's about to try to like smash through you to get to Shade, you see everything happening, and you're just like smooth like water, and you try to like move,
Yeah.
and it's like he slows down time again. Reroll that save as he uses an entropic Entropic effect.
4 + 9, 13.
13. So this time, as he seems to slow time, you see his eyes move faster than they should, as he seems to be existing in like a slightly different flow of time. And he around you. Shade, you're going to be taking an attack.
Yeah.
This fist, it glows as he shifts around Bubs, and that seems to almost generate more momentum. Does a 28 against your KAC hit?
Yeah, that's going to go ahead and hit pretty bad.
Where are my D12s?
Oh, no.
Oh no.
I don't like any of the things that you're saying right now, Joe.
Yeah, this is way worse than the last one for you.
Oh, no.
That is going to be 40 points
Holy
of
the
bludgeoning damage
fudge?
as he slams into you with an uppercut. As Bubs is almost able to stop him, he has to dodge to the side, and that seems to almost generate an additional amount of momentum as he leaps, that secondary knee uncoiling with his legs, and he slams into you.
You're really
The
funny
air
like
is
that.
driven from your body. I have plans for that, don't worry. So, no problem. Slams into you. That is his turn, however. That brings us to Shade. Shade, this individual now directly in front of you. You're now sort of behind both androids.
Are you bleeding?
Cool. Not yet. Okay. I'm going to, I believe I'm going to, take off my combat tracking and gonna use my overload
Okay.
as the exocortex move action, or exocortex action, to overload this guy's magic punchy power fists.
Okay.
So for one round, they're non-functional.
And they don't get a save. They do get a save against that. I think we've done that before.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a reflex saving throw.
That's not great. And who is it against?
It's against 10 plus half my mechanic level plus my int modifier, which is against the power fist guy.
Okay.
Yeah. And so it's gonna be. Let me just give you the DC here.
I don't think he's gonna make it.
Yeah, DC is gonna be 18.
An 18. Ooh, that was close, but no, he did not make it.
Cool.
So, as he goes by and he slams into you, you grab onto the fist as it like lifts you from the seat, and you overload the fist, and it just sparks out.
Cool. And then using.
That's one round?
Yes, for one round. It's non-functional, and I can't use it again on that item.
Very nice.
And then for my move action, I'm going to draw the my Vest Curve Blade, and then make a melee attack against this guy that just punched me.
Make your attack.
And he has a -1 to his AC.
Yes, he does.
All right. And let me just see. Yeah.
I got that recorded.
Does a math 15 hit?
It does not.
Damn.
And so you bring out this sword, clang, right off the metallic body, unable to, maybe just trying to draw the sword and hit with the same movement, not quite enough power. Anything else, Shade?
That's gonna be it for me.
All right, so Shade, you're sword fighting with an android in basically like a phone booth. Bubs, this android kind of shoulders his way past you. You watch as he pauses time almost and slips by you. There's something a little different. The fighting style is there. You recognize this armor blitz kind of style, but there is something else happening here as well.
Bubs is going to jump on the table with him and try to like reposition so he's facing him.
Okay.
And he's going to say to him,
so that is going to provoke an attack of opportunity from the other android.
Okay, can I reposition this way?
Yeah. Then you're not leaving her melee.
Yeah. And Bubs is going to say, look, you don't still have to do this. No one's been killed. You can still walk away, pay your bill, leave a 15% tip. And then he's going to like look like
a lot of conditions.
20
he's
after.
going to like look down and like look at the place and like see maybe like a barnacle on his foot. Maybe 5. And we can end this now and just walk away. And with that, he's going to see his reaction. Does he?
To make a sense
So
of it,
are you, as your action, trying to make a diplomacy check?
Yeah, sure. I'll
Okay,
do
make a
that.
diplomacy check. Yeah.
That is a 2.
You can't tell.
Yeah.
Anything else, Bubs?
I can't attack, right? That was my action.
That was your action.
Yeah, that's my turn.
All right. So, Bubs, you're like, we can still do it. You looked at it, you're shooting. As you do, they're like beginning to attack you again.
Yeah.
So you get the sense that it probably didn't work. However, this is going to bring us to everybody else's turn. So starting with the Dustins make their way 15 feet, and then the bigger one is going to stay behind them. And that Dustin's like, hurry, come on, we got to get out of here. And the other Dustins are like, this is so much fun. The final Dustin is still trying to blink, and they're just the whole way as they go. That is closed. The Mr. and Mrs. Smythe are going to go with the old man into the airlock. And so you hear as both of those sets of airlocks now have closed, which means the Dustins are going to have to wait for one full cycle. That brings us to the Shiren. The Shiren.
Oh, it would have provoked an
Didn't-
opportunity
yeah.
attack from.
They're always going to save their reaction unless
Okay,
they're
yeah.
threatened. Yeah.
Fair.
So they're still holding this knife. In the seat, they're going to throw the knife at the really tall, not the really tall one that's threatening Shade. Yeah. So they reverse the grip on it and they fling this knife. And so far, this knife looks really cool and they clearly know how to use it. But this is just a rough space to be fighting in. And it's too crowded. They can't quite get this. And it clack, 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 clack onto something. And you hear immediately the seat cushion begin to like burn a little bit. That is, however, going to be their attack. They're going to move 15 feet forward and kind of squeeze the no, they're gonna like get right there. Perfect. Right.
Oh, they're
between the
staying
two
in it?
numbers.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Well, he has to get his knife back.
Okay.
Does
he?
I mean, he certainly feels like he needs to. Echo, what would you like to do? Gibbs, you're on deck.
Echo's gonna turn and try to zip behind one of the table here
Okay.
to get a little bit of cover.
So again, provoking attack of opportunity.
Mhm.
Okay.
But because this is part of my trick attack movement, I'm going to attempt to stealthily crouch and shoot from under the table.
Okay.
Happy dice
Nice.
is the stealth. Echo dice is the attack.
Nice.
This isn't the echo dice. This is the
Snake eyes.
better not be.
Don't jinx it. Not bad.
It's not the worst I've ever rolled.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a math 22
A
for the
22.
stealth check.
Okay. What was it? What is? Sorry, it's their.
It's
the
the
15
DC
plus?
is 20 plus their
20
CR.
plus. That is going to be a failure, unfortunately.
And then the attack is 19.
Against?
They're E, A, and K, I see, because it's cold and piercing damage.
So cold and piercing. That is going to be. That is meets it beats it.
Yes.
Nice.
Something.
No, but it's piercing. It's a bummer.
It's still
Something.
something.
Yeah.
That's going to be a 10 total.
Okay, so it is a little bit less damage than you were hoping for, but that's still damage. No problem. Anything else, Echo?
That's it for Echo.
Okay, as you scoot by, you watch. You kind of saw this before. In this single moment, they drop one of their pistols, and you see the compartment, and this weapon appears as a little bit unfamiliar to you. Although you imagine this would be something that would be really interesting to you. It looks in ways almost like a wing of light that just emerges at once, and it strikes out, and it is a 27 hit.
Why do you ask?
It's fun for me.
Wait, is that a reaction they got to do?
It's an attack of opportunity.
It's an attack of opportunity, and they have a weapon fusion on this weapon.
Oh man.
This is
That
Joe
is
subtly
going to
hinting.
be-
We also need weapon fusions.
We know this.
6 points of fire damage as they just get this little attack off against you. Anything else, Echo?
No.
Alrighty, Gibbs, what would you like to do?
As I see Echo take damage, the gooey lifeline that's usually invisible between us lights up real quick, and I take 6 of your damage, and you heal for 6.
Nice.
And that's just a free thing I get to do, always. Seeing that my compatriots are still having a tough time hitting this person,
Yeah, they are.
I just lean my head back, and I'm gonna spit a loogie at Beastie Boy over here,
Okay.
and cast my Wisp ally to do Herring Fire, which allows an ally to gain a +2 circumstance bonus to their attack when they hit that guy.
Nice.
And they don't get a save against it, right?
Nope, with Sally,
Oh,
it's just
man.
none of my shit saves.
Nice. That's
Hey, how
That's
long does
plus
that
3
last?
to this.
So that one lasts 1 round per level as well. So that's 6 rounds, and it stacks with my other thing, which
so
will
it's +3 now on him.
So what's-
essentially.
it's plus it's 2 separate effects, but yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
-1 AC +2.
So when his hand overloads, it just kind of powers down. He pulls up his other hand as he's about to swing that one. This loogie just over top of it, and as he hits you, Shade, it's just kind of like it's like getting hit with one of those
Like
big inflatable like
a
boxing
sock 'em?
gloves. Yeah, sock and bopper,
Yeah,
not a
not
sponsor. Just boom, right into your stomach, and it kind of tickles, but no problem. Great wisp ally, and it just kind of like seeps into their joints and their mechanical parts.
And it lights them up the color of maple syrup.
There you go. Like sticky maple syrup. All right. That is your turn, Gibbs?
Yep.
That brings us to the top of the rounds and the androids. So this android, his fist is still not functional, correct? This is the turn that it's not functional for?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can't punch me to death.
I mean, he can.
Can, but
Oh,
hopefully won't do.
Really quickly, the
40
burning
points
of the
damage
guy's
again.
blade, does that look like dangerous or
Which blade?
so the blade that this guy threw?
Yeah, with time, certainly.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's not immediately dangerous, but yes, with time, once you're at an initiative, you definitely want to pay attention to it if it lasts that long.
Cool.
So this individual, both of his hands now kind of incapacitated. Shade, he begins to bend back and the legs unfold again, that secondary knee. And he just, with his full body momentum, those knees snap shut and he headbutts you as hard as he can using basically like a 6 feet of like steel to whip himself into you.
Damn.
That is going to be a 31 to hit.
Wow.
that one.
However,
Yeah.
it's not a ton of damage, as cool as it sounds, because his weapons are pretty much disabled. That is going to be 10 points of bludgeoning
That's
damage.
still
As he headbutts you directly in the chest. He like pulls the hand back, he squeezes and squeezes, and suddenly it just glows to life again. But that is the end of his turn. That brings us to the second android. Well, she's kind of cut off from you now, Shade. So
Thankfully.
with this Shiren right here, she is going to level the... Which does more damage? Okay, she's just going to fire with the pistol. Oh, she only has 1. Never mind.
Is it a disadvantage because it's a range attack at melee?
It's not, because disadvantage doesn't exist in Starfinder, but it would have a negative to it. But it doesn't matter because it's a big miss anyways. So they pull their weapon out,
You get
and this Shiren just pulls to the side, and there is a fire. It washes across the Shiren, and this dark jacket that they're wearing catches, it burns, but you can see underneath these dark plates of armor. They're okay.
Do I get an attack opportunity against her?
You do?
All right. That is a 14 plus 10.
14 plus
24.
10, that is going to hit.
All right. As Bubs does this, Bubs goes, noticing how they didn't respond to him, he goes, "That's it! Orders up! Who ordered the hot hammer special with extra magma?" And he's gonna turn on his magma hammer and like just thrust it like a sword right
Make an
at him.
attack roll. Phenomenal.
God.
Extra magma.
That is a
That
7.
is extra magma.
Come on, super soldier.
14. That
Damn.
is
21,
21.
22.
That hits.
Yes.
No
Yeah,
problem.
boy.
Yeah, so you slam this into them. Wait, sorry. This is against who?
The girl.
The girl? Yes, this does hit.
That's the damage, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the damage.
Yeah.
That was the damage.
21 damage.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Okay. What was the roll to hit?
23.
23? Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
23.
no problem. So 21 points of damage, and it's bludgeoning.
Yes.
And fire, because you did the
Yeah.
burn, right?
Seems to do the full amount of damage, the
No, it
bludgeoning.
doesn't do magma.
And with that hit, it seems to crumple components within her. She's like turned around. She's fighting with the Shiren, and you just slam into the
Right to the
shoulder.
side, yeah.
You can hear this kind of as the metal bends in. That is a damaging blow. Anything else, Bubs?
That was
That's
the
it.
reaction.
Oh, that's my reaction.
Oh, right.
That
Sorry.
was the opportunity.
That was
attack
the end of
after.
their turn, which brings us to Shade.
Cool. I'm going to full action attack the one that is on top of me with first thematically gonna like push off of the stool or off of the booth.
Mhm.
Like kick him in the chest, I guess.
Okay.
And then try to slash him. So first attack.
You get a +2.
Right. But it's I have the -4 for the full action. That's not gonna hit. That's poopies. So the first one misses.
Okay. You kick them back, and as you swing, it just clang right off the mechanical body.
Now. Second one. Okay, that one's probably gonna hit. That's gonna be a 30.
A 30 against?
Oh, sorry.
that hit.
30 -4 + 2, so 28.
28 hits.
Cool. All right. That's gonna be the math. The math die. There it is. That's gonna be a cool and awesome 6 points of slashing damage.
6 points of slashing damage.
Every little bit counts. Woo!
Across them, they look down, barely a little scrape of the metal along their torso.
Cool. That's it for me.
Nice shade. Bubs, what do you want to do?
I am going to see how I just slammed her with her hammer, and as I stabbed her, I'm gonna kind of jump off the booth I'm on and try to elbow check her with a bull rush,
Okay, yeah.
which is her KAC +8. And I'm just gonna kind of go for it. That's a 19.
Cocked.
That's cocked. You gotta reroll that.
That's a 5.
That's not as good.
Plus 11, so 16.
Unfortunately, that is not enough. And so you lower your shoulder and you slam into her. She's looking hurt.
Yeah.
And with that last hit that you did, kind of
Yeah.
crumpled over. In this moment, as you spring the hammer over, this other android reaches around, and it's like there is something almost installed in their body. And I would say, Shade, maybe you've seen bodyguard modules before, but it's almost like they're able to help this individual, and they reach out and just slam their elbow into your hand, knocking the hammer off, and it just glances in a blow.
Ooh,
Anything else, Bubs?
that's it, my turn.
All right, that brings us to the others. The Dustins kind of against the airlock, and you see the light begin to go as it cycles, and Big Dustin just goes, "Oh man!" And the two other little Dustins are like kind of beginning to try to squirm into the airlock itself, but it's obviously airtight.
Is it slime tight though?
It is slime tight, unfortunately. That brings us to the Sharen. Well, they're not getting their knife back this turn, so.
Punch.
No. Shade, as this android kind of rears back, there's this booger on one hand, the other hand is now glowing bright. The Sharen, you see these two bug hands grab the ankles, and they're going to try to yank them down.
Yeah. Thanks, buddy. That would be really helpful.
They rolled a 5.
Oh, never mind.
So with a total of 10, they grab, and it's just, and this bug-like creature unable to knock
Appreciate
over
the
this
try.
8-foot-tall android monstrosity. So unfortunately, that is the Sharen. They are going to probably provoking attack of opportunity. They're gonna go back and go behind you, Gibbs. And as they go by, they're just gonna go, "Sorry, this is a little bit much for me," and they're gonna begin to kind of
Thank
walk
you.
back. This attack of opportunity is only gonna be. Oh, that's gonna hit.
Damn.
Wow,
This
that's
is
not
too
bad.
much for me. Shot in the face.
So
You gotta
clear
take
the
slash
player
on
wants
the
the
side.
Sharen to die so that I can keep the knife.
Well, he's abandoning his knife right now.
He's gonna go back for it.
Yeah.
He's making his way out of there at the moment. So that is the Sharen's turn. Echo,
No,
what
sorry,
would you
he
like to
started
do?
there, so he goes behind me.
My turn?
Yeah.
Okay. I will get a trick attack off for this game. I will.
I believe in you.
Because Spice is not here, I'm going to roll my chonk.
Okay. Do you mean this campaign?
What?
Do you mean this campaign?
I had one.
Their biggest one.
Don't curse my dice, Joe.
Go for it.
This is for the attack.
Okay.
This is for the stealth. As Echo's going to change targets from Flamey Jacket Crumple Android to the one that's currently on top of Shade.
Sure.
Because
I'm getting pummeled.
Shade's getting pummeled and he's lit up like maple syrup.
Not yet, but.
Yeah, he is lit up like me.
Okay, so my stealth was not great. It
Okay.
was a 19, so that fails.
That does.
But I do actually get to hit him, so that's good because
was-
that's a 27.
Against?
His whatever cold and piercing is.
Okay. Against KAC, yes, that does it.
Cool.
And so standing on top of a table alone on that side of the diner with everybody else in like a 5-foot radius, it's hard to be stealthy, but you do make that attack. How much damage?
8. It's 8.
8. And that's piercing, right?
And cold.
Okay. So it doesn't do quite as much damage as you would like it to. And
All
though
my
that
weapons
does
are
land, it's almost like there's some kind of kinetic dampening effect to the armor that they wear. Anything else, Echo?
Echo is going to. Can Echo move because they've already attacked?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You just can't
You
split
just
up your
can't split your
movement.
movement.
Echo's going to. Echo's going to move behind. Here.
Just for fun, make an acrobatics check, because it does mean that you're diving over 3 different kind of booths.
Echo's acrobatic.
Yeah, just for fun.
Yay.
Yeah,
that's
no
gonna
problem.
Be 20. That's going to be 31. Excuse me.
Nice.
So as you shoot this shot off and you're able to finally get one home, you take this, like the flash of the gun muzzle as a distraction, and you're able to move yourself out of range. You go over one of these booths, you roll into the other. There's no table here. This is just like a little seating area. So you're able to spring to your feet, full running speed, and move to where you want to go.
Imagine someone's birthday cake that they have right there, and the flame just goes right out as she's moving past.
Yeah, sure, no problem. So, yeah, it's the contemplative's birthday.
Yeah.
That is your turn. Echo Gibbs, what would you like to do?
As the kind of the rush of moving past, like of people kind of going past me, I'm gonna kind of stand still, rock in the river, and lock eyes with this female-ish android, and just, you must be destitute to rob this place. And I will cast Mind Thrust at the 2nd level.
Okay.
So can I get a will saving throw?
You can.
It is true. Not even we are robbing this place.
So that is, you said will?
Yes.
That is going to be a 19.
Okay. So it halves my damage, but that's okay because
Okay.
it's still a lot. 10, 18, 3. So 10 plus, so 18 plus 7 is 25.
Okay.
Divided by 2 is
12.
12 damage.
Okay.
And psychic damage, and then I'm gonna sort of straighten up and just take 5 steps forward to be an imposing, intimidating figure to try and get her to not attack my
Okay,
friends.
so you rise up on your tippy toes and your soaky paws, and you bare your teeth and covered in bugs and goop. I mean, you are a little imposing. And on top of that, that psychic thrust, as you push it forwards through the space, it hits her. And this is an android. It does have a consciousness, and you've interacted with androids before. But their systems already seem kind of damaged, a little bit frenetic, and this seems to almost overload them. They're pretty hurt. Anything else, Gibbs?
No one took damage last round that would have caused them to bleed, right?
Nope.
Okay, no, we're good.
All
I'm
right.
good.
So, the android's turn. This android that you just mind thrust into, and you said they must be destitute and everything, they're beginning to look a little bit hurt. You can see the hand like over the area that's crumpled in from Bubs' attack. They are going to turn over and just go, Jimmy, it's not going good. She's going to turn back, and she's going to attempt to run through you, Gibbs. Go ahead and make a athletics check, please.
And I get a time opportunity as well.
You will, yes.
Nice.
10.
Okay, she beat you with a 13.
Aw,
and so
dang.
this is, she gets over and she like clashes hands with you. You're like holding each other's hands. She's pushing and you're pushing, and she is just able to push you to the side. She almost trips over your bottle, not really expecting something almost the same size as you on your back, but manages to like pinwheel over. She lands on the other side, continues to move,
I get
and
an attack
because she
opportunity.
cannot break up her opportunity, yes, you get your attack of opportunity. Did you make your attack?
Yep, I got a 19 plus 10, 29.
That hits.
I'm gonna reach out my hammer, and as she's running, she's gonna clip it. I'm gonna pull it back,
Okay.
and I'm gonna try to do like a kind of like a
Here's a doggy
old
bag.
timey at the Apollo Theater, kind of like hook, kind of grab her,
And then just like pull
and
the legs
yeah,
out.
it kind of like grabs her. I'm gonna say, "Where you going? Trying to dine and dash?"
All right, roll damage for that.
Do I also get an attack of opportunity, or does
Nice.
is it negated because she? save.
You do get an attack of opportunity. No, because that was an attempt. That was just to be able to push past you.
Yeah, 22.
22.
Nice.
22.
Yep.
Very nice. Oh, she is in rough shape.
Yeah.
And as she is like moving forward, she leaps, almost trips over Gibbs's bottle, and you see the foot like fly out. Time slows down. You take the end of the hammer, you get it right around the foot, and you yank. This pulls her flat, and her chin slams into the floor with the entire weight of her body.
I imagine a bunch of plates fall everywhere.
The teeth, the mechanical teeth, bite through the lip, going almost up, and you hear the as the jaw breaks. But she is still alive. She gets to her feet. She's standing right in front of the Shiren, and because she cannot break up her movement, continues to move 10 feet more forwards and takes an attack of opportunity against the Shiren's fists.
Nice.
Which, not okay, no. And the Shiren misses, kind of hitting this like mechanical body, but she continues to move. That is her turn. Or actually, I guess if she's not going to attack, she can move another 30 feet. So she is going to get behind that couch.
This way?
No, other one.
This
Yep,
one?
and Echo, you can make your attack of opportunity.
Nice.
That's gonna be 24.
24, that hits.
I also missed my attack of opportunity.
Okay.
I don't think I'll ever hit one.
That's gonna be a 12 cold and piercing.
Echo, tell us how it happened.
Oh.
That was a lot of damage on her way out.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
As she's running towards the couch, like something just like clicks and starts whirring behind one of Echo's eyes, and they just like mechanically turn around, and they have a clear shot for once in their life, and they just let off a shot go directly into her back, and she just kind of like falls over to the floor.
As she's running, she almost dives over the couch, and the shot clips her in the back, and it goes from this like she's gonna dive, plant her arm, and swing around and take a shot. She dives and just poof onto the ground, skids, and then just goes into the bathroom halfway. Yeah, down. That is
Occupied.
her turn. Yeah, she actually goes, slams in the door. Ching, dun. It was occupied, no problem. I love that. That is the other android. So as she goes down and slams into the bathroom, you could see the phase turns, and the joints that unhinge when the other knees go up, just the steam, as you hear the mechanical voice just go, no. The joints like tense up, and he is going to leap. As he leaps, Shade, Bubs, and Gibbs, are you within 10 feet?
I am within 10 feet.
Make a reflex save, please.
I'm not within 10 feet.
Oh, never mind.
No, I'm kidding. No, I'm totally kidding.
1.
28.
Okay.
6.
Shade, you get the sense that something's going to happen, and as you're like fighting with the sword, you take the carbon steel blade, plant it into the tip of the table, and tilt the table up to try to shield yourself from something. You feel like something is going to happen, and in this moment, as he tenses and begins to like move up, you feel the time again almost suck in. The same feeling like when a wave comes in and begins to pull out. It is, what's the word? It is the feeling of inevitability. And in this moment, you feel like you almost get like sucked into place. Bubs and Gibbs, your movement is halved next turn.
Okay.
Not good.
The two of you are unable to take attacks of opportunity, although I believe you've already used yours.
Yes.
Yep.
However, you can if you wish, as they leap
Yeah, I do.
30 feet. And they're going to land, I believe, just behind the Shiren and right next to Echo. Nope,
Behind
other
the
side.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And
And
attack of
Echo,
opportunity.
you can see this glowing fist.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Yes.
Roll damage.
All right.
Is this with your radiation gun or your?
Yes.
No, it's with my curve blade.
You know what? Hang on. He's going to use his last resolve point. Go ahead and re-roll that.
No.
As time slows
Why
down
must you do
and he
this?
leaps forwards.
Natural 20.
All
Thanks.
right.
Look at that.
Roll damage on that. Holy fuck.
Inevitability
Now
is
you have to
shade.
fucking
Vanguards are so cool.
Those dice. Oh, it's a Vanguard.
Yes, yeah. So this is
Yeah.
so yeah. Vanguards
So
are cool.
that's that, and then the crit damage. All right, so it's 12 points of slashing,
Okay.
and then another 2 points of bleed.
And you doubled the slashing already?
No, 24 points of slashing.
Very nice.
And then, do you double the crit damage
you double
too?
dice damage. So if you
Okay,
roll
yeah,
on the
so then
dice,
it's 4
yes.
points of bleed.
Very nice.
Nice.
So as he leaps, you lash out with the blade. He slows time and moves beyond it, and so you take this last kind of moment to fling the blade forwards, and it cleaves. It goes down the heel, and you can see the metal split, such that the what would be like a mechanical version of the Achilles just unravels.
Nice.
As the foot goes completely limp, that whole leg just extends, and as he lands, that leg does not compress the way the other one does back to normal. That definitely lasting damage on this individual.
Nice.
But they sag, and as they do, Echo, directly in front of you, they have this like power glove. You watch as it begins to glow even brighter as they take an attack against you.
Echo just kind of steals themselves.
Yeah, that is going to be a 34 to hit.
Looks like it's more like Play-Dohs
And that's
yourself.
hit a 40 before. That it's
I
been,
know.
that damage is tough.
That is going to be, you got fairly lucky on that,
Oh, I'm so happy.
32 points
Oh, God.
of bludgeoning damage as it slams into you, but he has to stop his momentum there. He turns and his eyes begin to like burn as he gazes across you. That is, however, going to be their turn. That brings us to you, Shade. What do you want to do? Bubs, you're on deck.
Echo's winded and looks hurt.
Gonna move action, take out once again the pit. Actually, this time I'm gonna take out the rifle
Okay.
because last time I noticed that it didn't do much damage against this husk.
Because of
a
haunted armor,
human.
the wearer's speed would have been reduced by 10 feet.
It doesn't matter. They could have moved an additional 10 feet, but they
Okay.
were only trying to leap over to hit Echo because they wanted to take Echo out before
And
the deep the airlock.
then I'm gonna make an attack at
But good to know.
the only one left that's running away.
Yeah.
You get a +2.
+2, -1 AC, plus my double tap stuff. Oh, actually no, because it's the rifle, so it's not double tapped. Yeah, I should have used the rifle, the pistol again. Oh well.
Damn it.
Easy come, easy go.
What was that?
That's a 1.
Oh, very unfortunate. Weapon jams. As you begin to pull the trigger, that last hit, like a
Damn.
perfect strike that unraveled the entire leg, slicing through mechanisms. This, as you pull the trigger, you just hear a little, and it doesn't go off.
Damn.
Is that the same one that rolled 2 20s in a row?
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of makes
That
sense.
makes sense.
The orange
That's
gods,
crazy. though.
yeah.
That's so cool. Okay. Anything else, Shade?
Nope, that's gonna be
Alrighty.
it for me.
Bubs, you watch as the first android crumples. The other one leaps away after yelling no. They begin to make their way towards the exit. What do you want to
I
do?
still have that 15 movement speed because it's half now?
Correct.
Okay. So Bubs is going to...
Just for this turn.
Okay, Bubs is going to move 15 feet as much as he can. And as he's doing, he's dragging his hammer, making like a bunch of sparks. And
Yeah.
like, just as much
Getting ready.
momentum he can get from it. He's going to scream out, "Excuse me, sir, you forgot your coat!" And he's going to throw his hammer straight forward right at his face.
Yeah, make an attack roll.
Hopefully
So
you
the
don't hit the
shred, yeah. Oh, God.
Just roll low.
That is a 14.
Total?
Yes.
That is unfortunately not enough. And so as you fling your hammer over, it would hit, but Shay's strike unravels the entire leg. And so when they land, they almost fall to their knee, and your hammer just goes right over top, and it slams into the bathroom. The entire bathroom door crumples in. You can see like the part of the android body still crumpled within the bathroom as well. Anything else, Bubs?
That is my turn.
Alrighty. That brings us to this Shiren. So all of this just chaos unfolds around them. This android leaps over. One of them just gets flung across and into the bathroom. They like have to duck underneath and move around. Now they're kind of like pinned back in. They're going to turn. They look over. They see their knife and they begin to run backwards. They're going to hold on to the attack of opportunity because you're right there, Echo. But yeah, so he runs back. You could see Shade. This Shiren runs over and goes, "Sorry," and just grabs this knife off, which you can see like there is like a little bit of a fire now smoldering across this pleather cushion. But that is the Sharon. Echo, what would you like to do? Gibbs, you're on deck.
How's he looking?
He's looking rough. There was a point where that last kind of round really took a toll on him.
Is one of the menus nearby? And would that be a computerized object?
Yes. And so there's a menu on each table. So
Echo's
10
going
feet away.
to like, just kind of like.
Do the Dustins leave? And do they
The
occupy?
Dustins are stuck outside of the airlock because it's cycling.
They're kind of bump the menu so that it starts like dinging in the kitchen.
Okay.
And it's just very, very loud. That's gonna be their computer's check.
Yeah.
Their trick attack.
Okay, go.
Attack.
Yep. Still.
Okay.
Computers.
Oh my
mother
fucking
effing
God.
serious. So the unfazed completely by whatever Echo's doing with the computers, but that's a dirty 20 to attack.
A dirty 20 is going to be a miss.
Of course it is.
And that little ding, you can't even hear it as the kitchen is cut off by solid steel. So unfortunately, anything else, Echo?
Just gonna put this dice back into the cauldron
There
to
you
cook
go.
a little bit longer.
Gibbs.
The lifelink between Echo and I again flares for a brief second as I take 6 of your damage and you heal 6 damage. Alright, I will mind thrust this guy at the 2nd level
Alrighty.
because there's not much else I can do.
Did they get a save?
Yes, I need a will saving throw, please.
That is going to be a 14.
That's lower than my DC. So they take full damage.
And because Pink Eye is down, I will tell you, Pink Eye had a special, well, that's the other android. Pink Eye had a special ability against spells, and I was waiting for a save to come up that she could use it against, and she never got to.
Good.
26 psychic damage.
26 psychic damage.
Because it's 2nd level.
Second.
Get him, Gibbs.
Okay. That damage ripples through and already hurt. They're kind of limping along, their eyes flaring angrily. This strikes into their head. And Echo, you can see, and you see the teeth grit together hard enough to create sparks. They're in a lot of pain, but they're still up.
I'm going to use my movement to move the 50. I only have half movement,
Yep.
so I'll move there.
Okay.
And just sort of like reach out to Echo, but just like my hand is just too short, but preparing if she should go down.
You run over and you're about to reach out to Echo, and your bottle is just a little bit too big where it hooks onto the end of the table, and you're like, boom, boom, and you just kind of get wobbled back into the seat. But you're ready. That is your turn, Gibbs. That brings us to the top of the round and to this android.
Help.
Yeah, I see it. I'm there.
So this android, ooh. This android is going to turn, and you can see they reach to their side and they disconnect what looks like a metal brick. They're going to look at you, Echo, because you're right in front of them, and they're just going to say, "Nobody stops Jimmy 12 Toes."
No!
Thrust the brick past you. The brick just magnetized to this. Echo, make a dexterity
can't
or
let
a
this guy live.
reflex
We can't
saving
kill this
throw.
guy.
All the Dustins are making reflex saves. Not a
Natural
single Dustin.
20.
Don't kill Jimmy, no!
And it's on the cam.
No, this
Look
whole,
at it right there.
Look at
this
that.
whole campaign I've been wanting to meet this
Echo,
guy, we're gonna
with
kill
a
him.
natural 20.
Yeah.
As
We're
this
fucking bounty
brick of
hunters.
this breaching charge explodes, you see in slow motion these 2 little Dustins. One of them like is just like trying to get into a seam. The other one is just going in slow motion, trying to blink like Gibbs. You are so fast. This is like the scene with that X-Men that's really fast, where you were able to accelerate forwards. It's a weird sensation. You grab onto like the scruff of these slimes and fling them. And as you do, like their mass goes forward and the back part boom, forward, and they like end over end. And you just hear whee! And, and you hear as it like goos out. Big Dustin, you can see it turns, just goes, hey, and then there's this explosion. If everybody can make a reflex saving throw against the vacuum of space. Gibbs, do you have your helmet on?
No, I purposely hung it up on the coat rack on the door,
We'll get to that in a second.
Damn.
and I
Dirty
failed.
20.
Dirty 20?
10.
17.
8.
17.
It was a 5.
Okay. Yours was
10.
10.
I have my helmet on.
Bubs, you are yanked 30 feet towards that the opening that is right behind Echo.
Yep.
And so if there is more than 30 feet, you are now
There.
outside. And Gibbs, you are yanked 30 feet out and into the void of space. You can see the Contemplative and the Kasatha are heading towards one of the fighters. They're about 50 feet away. You can see the Smythes and this old man and this robot. The old man and the robot are way far away. This robot definitely helped the old man. The other two heading towards their ship. And you are just... And it is silent and it is cold. Your eyes instantly ice over. We'll talk about that in a second. Jimmy is going to purposely fail the save so he can get sucked 30 feet out. And then he is going to use his movement to move 80 feet towards his ship.
Do I get an attack of opportunity?
No, not when you are suffocating in
Did you
space.
use your reaction?
One other
Did
thing.
I use my reaction? No.
You can, if you would like, to make an attack of opportunity. Although I would say you're taking a conditional modifier because he's being sucked
I
with
was
the
gonna
vacuum
say,
space, and it's risky.
yeah, no, for fear of like hitting any innocent
There's a lot of people in this
bystanders.
little area.
No.
So he's sucked out into space and fired. Basically, he uses this to cannon himself to his ship.
Do I get an attack of opportunity?
Yeah, you would absolutely.
Nice. Punch him to death.
That's a natural 20.
Natural 20. Roll damage. This is gonna
Punch
be.
your hero.
This is going to be so close.
Go, Bubs, go,
And also,
Bubs.
for what it's worth, the ship that he's going to is the one that you landed right next to.
It's
Shay.
parked
Heck
over the line.
yes.
The crit damage too.
Oh, I get crit
And you
damage?
double it.
It's 1 plus 14, and then my crit damage, my fist.
Double that, so 15, right?
Yeah.
So
15.
30, because you double the
Okay.
15,
So 30
plus
damage.
the crit damage.
Okay. So do I roll again, or what do I do?
Double
what's
the
your-
dice,
what's
not the
crit?
modifiers, right?
It's
Oh
for
yeah,
my.
so it's
it's
17. No,
It's for my. It's my
16.
armor fist, so I don't know
16.
what that is. I think it's just normal.
Yeah, it might
Okay.
not have a crit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have a
effect.
crit.
So
so
total?
16 total.
16 total. All right. Unfortunately, not enough to knock him out.
Yeah.
But as he goes by, you slam into him, and he does like pin a couple ways, and he has to like steady himself over. And you see these glowing red eyes glare, and you look. He points as he like fades into the darkness towards this ship. The hatch pops open, and you watch. Still pointing, he just like drifts in, and it shuts. You would imagine you have not seen the last of Jimmy 12 times.
I wanted to see how many toes he has.
You did see his. I mentioned specifically his boots are broad.
Yeah.
So he
This
now
whole
in his
campaign,
craft.
I want to find this guy.
For all of you, I will say this is the very last moment. You can see this ship powering up. Is there anything else that you wish to do to try to stop him before he leaves?
Echo's not going to try to stop him, but wants to do something else.
What do you want to do?
Echo wants to run out and grab Gibbs and Bubs because they're just in the vacuum of
Okay.
space. Oh, well,
Yeah.
grab Gibbs because Bubs is fine because he has his
Seeing
helmet
that
on.
Echo is doing the Gibbs saving,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to chase after this dude.
Okay. He's about 80 feet away. So you have a turn to do something.
I'm gonna go and try to shoot him. I'm
Okay.
Can you
gonna,
shoot? Is there windows there? Could you just shoot through the window?
There is no windows.
I'm gonna
in this,
run to
space.
the hole here
Okay.
and then use my rifle.
Okay. I'll say with the suction of that, it's less that you run over there and more that you just are like pulled in that direction.
Yeah.
You take that and kind of shift your body, and as you are like slingshotted away, you have like a moment where you're passing this hole in the wall, and you can take your shot.
That's gonna be 19 to hit.
19 against the starship, unfortunately, does not hit, and
Oh, it's not
you
against
can
him.
see it just
Oh.
goes off into the darkness.
Oh.
Probably not going to work so well. However, that's great. As you rush forwards, you can see Gibbs is being propelled out. There's not a ton of space
This is very
before.
familiar.
Oh yeah. And so Gibbs, like in this moment, in this weird panic where like though things are happening so quickly, you only have time for this one thought of like, I didn't even get to eat. And you're like about to drift away.
The second.
Would Echo have had enough time to run and grab the helmet and get Gibbs?
Probably not.
Okay, well, I'm gonna get Gibbs.
No
Most
problem.
important.
So go ahead. What I will say is make an athletics check.
Athletics?
Athletics or acrobatics, your choice.
If Echo,
Acrobatics. And Echo is speedy.
Yes.
if Echo is able to touch me, the second our fingers touch, I will heal her
Okay.
as I can.
That's a 22 for Echo.
A 22. So Gibbs, as you are about to rocket out forwards, you can see Echo, you take the two Dustins, you hurl them forwards. They kind of like gum to the metal slats that have come up to separate the counter.
Save the children, as Echo always does.
You fire yourself forwards and you grab Gibbs, your fingertips touch, and you lose Gibbs's fingertips.
But you get 14 points of damage as my crystalline tears tinkle around you.
And Gibbs, you feel your bottle change. The cork kind of popping out in space, with a 22 being 2 over what you needed. The tendril of gross garbage juice, as you lose Gibbs's fingertips, comes out and grabs onto your hand in a disgusting sensation, but it pulls Gibbs just far enough that you're able to grab onto Gibbs.
The unseen by Gibbs because android, but definitely noticed by Shade and 12 toes. Echo's like grimace of like exertion becomes a grimace of like okay.
Yeah.
If I could vomit, I would.
My jar has never saved me before like this.
But you have grabbed onto Gibbs. Gibbs, you are yanked back into this space, and as you are now all out of combat, roll us out of initiative. Give me 1 second here. Suddenly, the wall, there's this little beep, and you can see like a little green light turn on, and there is a opening that is like a little bit set off to the side of where the counter is that opens, and you see these gelatin kind of release and get sucked up. It hardens and becomes vaguely clear like glass, although you can still see some like crystalline structure within, more of like a foam or a gelatin. But in that moment, the green light goes off, and you can see, though they had shut off when the vacuum opened, the little ribbons in front of the ventilation system begin to go on as air is pumped back in. Gibbs, the ice shatters off your eyes. You see your bottle, you cork it as it's open. You did not see what happened, but you felt the bottle shift. You felt something. And because we are an hour and 50 minutes into this session, this is where we're going to end for the evening. However, what I will say is the slats open up, and Lola, smoking a cigarette with all these little like snakes, letting little bits of like smoke out of each of their individual mouths, lets it out, and she goes, "That was pretty good. You have to pay for the damages, of course, but you did stop a robbery, so I'm gonna cut you some slack. We're gonna take everything that they left behind and the android body, but why don't you come back to Lola's in a week? Your ship is a piece of shit, and we have a Starship salesperson coming through. They have some upgrades that you could definitely use. We'll get you one for free from Lola. Don't say I never did anything for you."
Did she give us an expired coupon for one meal?
No, but she is going to reach back and she's going to pull out a small, what looks like a credit chip at first. But she's going to look at all of you and just say, who's the pilot amongst all of you? Goes over to Gibbs and hands you this little stick. And you have no idea what it is. Jade, as Gibbs passes it over to you, this is a permanent drift beacon identification chip, and using this, you can now return to Lola's Diner in the Drift in 1 day from any location in space.
Nice.
Thank you for joining us for this session of Mosaic Team 5. If you like this, please join us every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on twitch.tv/AlberonRPG. But please stay safe until then. We'll see you later. Goodbye.
Bye.
Pew, 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 pew.